Hello everyone from the Coherence Meditation Gym. Welcome to this live chat in preparation for the Generous Present Moment meditation from Dr. Joe. The way this unfolds is I have taken notes from Dr. Joe Dispenza's explanation of this meditation, and I will just share my notes and also give a few of my personal references. I need to make sure that you know that I am not certified under Dr. Joe Dispenza's trainers. I am, though, a HeartMath certified coach since 2016, and I have been practicing Dr. Joe Dispenza's work for longer than that. I'm also an advanced student. I have been to a week-long retreat, and I am in continuous, education about coherence and about getting into the quantum field. This is something that is extremely of interest and passion to me. So I love having this space where we can interact and we can have this discussion and go deeper into the work as we each grow into our own understanding and our own experience of healing ourselves, creating mystical experiences, all the reasons why we are in this work. So this is meant to be a very laid-back, interactive chat. So from that standpoint, I will just feel free to please ask questions, to make comments, and even if you're just watching this as a recording, there's a fun way that we can continue the conversation going with your comments, and if there's something that you would like to dig in deeper, feel free to also make a request to dig deeper into some of the intricacies, because there is so much to this work that I believe that through inquiry and through conversation and experiences that we grow and we grow together. So having said that, okay, this meditation in particular is about almost 50 minutes long, and so it's called the Generous Present Moment. And so it is about coming back to the now. One of the things that he always mentions in his live presentations is I like how he speaks to the body like an animal, like you stay, because the brain wants to be predicting the future. The body wants to get up and wants to go to the bathroom, or wants to go get coffee, or is too impatient that it wants to know when this is going to be over. So stay in the present moment. That's what kept coming to mind when I was writing the notes for this chat. That it is really training ourselves to come back to the now, to come back to the present moment, to come back into this space where everything is possible, to slow down our brain waves, that we are not anticipating the future. We're not a program of the past. We are coming back into the now. So he says that only when we are in the present moment that we're really connected to all the possibilities that exist in the quantum field. So there's some really fascinating things here that they're quite the highlights, and some of the things that I had not really dug so deep until you really unpacking this in this way. That's why I think it's so brilliant when he's always asking us to, when we hear him speak, or whenever we read some of his work, we explain it to the neighbor explain it to somebody, because then we've exercised that kind of processing, and then sharing it, that takes that really helps anchor it, and also just opens up for us to understand it deeper, and if we don't, to really go down that rabbit hole and want to understand it better. But so one of the things that really stood out for me in this explanation was that when we slow down our brain waves, we are conscious of our awareness, and we are tapping in or connecting to the autonomic nervous system. And our autonomic nervous system controls bodily functions, gives us life, and it creates balance and order. And the autonomic nervous system, when our brain waves are go from beta to alpha, and not just any alpha, but a coherent alpha, then there's this intelligence from the autonomic nervous system that brings things into balance. That's just what it does. That's the function of it. It's this intelligence that does that. But we need to be able to slow down our brain wavelengths, which means that we've got to disconnect from the program, disconnect from the things that we're automatically doing, that autopilot that we just practice so much that the body is running the show, because the body has rehearsed it so many times, has done it so many times in repetition, that there's no unpredictability. There's all just these predictable things that the body already is doing by recreating the past and having like this future that is, we already know it. There's no surprise, because we are operating this program. So by slowing down our brain waves, we're getting into the present moment, and by doing that, we get into the autonomic nervous system. So that was super fascinating for me to make that link, to have that click in the brain of like, oh, that's what happens. So that there's so many things about this work that are just understanding our biology, our physiology, the way we work, and giving ourselves the opportunity to be operating in our most optimal way. And this is one way, when we're coming back to the present moment, and we're not like robots, like just unconsciously going through life. So back to, so that was one highlight. There's a few more, but let me get back to my notes. So we're going in the order that, the explanation goes. So how we think and how we feel creates our future, and most people, we're creating from the past. So we're just recreating the past, just going, like we wake up, we remember like, oh yeah, I was mad at this person. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee. I'm gonna go, take a shower, go to work, go to lunch, come back, watch a TV show, and do it all over, go to bed, do it all over again tomorrow. It's this program, unpredictable. Very predictable, because there's nothing new. So so we follow this routine and this autopilot of thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. We've done it so many times that the body knows how to do it better than the brain. And that's dragging us into a predictable future. So by getting, by doing this, we're losing our free will. That's another highlight of this explanation, is losing our free will, which is like crazy, because we believe that we have free will, but it's almost like we're losing our free will to ourselves, which like, that's kind of like that is something to think about, because the body's running the show. It's already like we've programmed it to run on autopilot, that, you know, the body is telling us what we need to do based on just like that program. So losing our free will, that's like super scary, to lose your free will to yourself. I really like that, that reminder that, hey, the body's not in control. I am. I mean, it's me with me, it's us with us, but it is really like getting beyond the body. That's why he's like, we've got to get beyond the body. You know, the stay, I'm in control. So who's the master? So this is super cool. It's that awareness, that consciousness, that conscious part of us that is in charge. Not the body, not the program. And that's taking back our free will, our true free will from ourselves. So, so feelings and emotions are an end product of past experience. There's nothing new will happen. So how do we take back that free will, right? So, so the thinking, acting, feeling, if we're thinking, acting, feeling the same way, that creates our personality, which creates our personal reality, and 95% is a program. And so in order, okay, here we go. So in order for us to connect to the unified field where all possibilities exist, we are going to have to get beyond the habits and take our attention off the body and realize that our personality has been developed over a certain period of time and connected to certain people, things, and places. So when we can disconnect from those people, things, and places, so people, there's no one, from things, nothing, places, nowhere, then there is, and we're not paying attention to what the schedule is and what the predictable future is, or the familiar past, then there is no time. And that is how we connect to the quantum field, that invisible field beyond space and time, that elegant moment where it is we become aware that we are aware. And even if we cannot see it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, because we're moving beyond the three-dimensional world, the three-dimensional reality, and we are experiencing the quantum field. So this is this infinite space. The more, okay, here's another really fun thing that he's always saying, but just saying it in this context just really deepens that understanding that the more we linger in the unknown, the more we create. Because, why is it unknown? Because we're detaching from the predictable, and we're in the past, you know, we're not recreating the past, and we're not creating a predictable future. So when we disconnect from those two things, what do we have? Like a big unknown. A big unknown. What is that? Like infinite possibilities. So what's really cool is that when we take our attention off of that, because that takes energy. It takes energy to recreate the past. It takes energy to create a predictable future. Then we open up space for us to create from infinite possibilities. The more we linger in the unknown, the more we can create, because our energy, we're like have energy to create with. We're not wasting it with the past, with a predictable future. So so we get beyond ourselves. We are no longer our culture, our profession, like those things that we identify with, we're no longer that that personality. We're nothing. We're really out of, we're disassociating from that. And that is where we connect to the unified field. That unified field that governs all laws of nature, and this quantum field is where all possibilities exist. So when we experience reality with our senses, so this is another really great thing to remember, is that the senses create that separation, because there's a me, there's a you, there's us, there is the dream of the future. There's that separation. But when we're in the unified field, we're already in it. We're already in everything is available to us. And so that's the present moment. It exists in the now. So being in the now. And so what something that came up for me in this portion of this reflection is, okay, well, here we are. We're going to be meditating for 50 minutes, the generous present moment, and we're going to be in that elegant present moment, connecting to the unified field, not thinking about getting beyond our body, thinking beyond, okay, what am I going to do after this meditation? How much more do we have? Thinking about all the list of laundry things that we didn't do or that we have to do. We're beyond that. That's the practice of getting into the present, getting our brain waves to slow down so that we can enter the operating system of the autonomic nervous system, which then, when it goes from beta to gamma, what happens is that order is created, because that's what the autonomic nervous system does. It creates order. Naturally, that's what it does when we have access to that, where we give ourselves access to the autonomic nervous system. So when we're practicing that for that amount of time, my belief, what I know to be true, is that we are training the nervous system to go out in the world and do it in our day-to-day life. Yes, we're going to come and train for this amount of time, of focused time, but what is that going to do? Is going to raise our baseline. And this is where heart method and my training comes in, is that I know this. I have practiced it. I have seen it in my life. When I am in the present moment and I am able to stay open to possibilities, then possibilities open, because I'm able to stay present and not be thinking about what's the next thing that I'm going to say, how this is already happened before. Like, I am so present and open to infinite possibilities that I allow for the space for infinite possibilities to take place. My point is that training ourselves in this meditation, in this practice, will only enable us, our nervous system, to remember how to do it in life, in everyday life, to stay present, to be mindful, to have that ability to be the creators of our day-to-day life, and really experience life in such a much richer, more beautiful way. When we're present, everything becomes a lot more vivid. Our senses become a lot more palpable. Like, we can enjoy our food, our everything that we're doing, our savoring, our conversation. Things flow, there's synchronicities. But I don't want to digress from this explanation, from this meditation. I just wanted to mention that this obviously will have a carryover effect into our day-to-day lives, and not only, in this you know, there's a reason why we're practicing it here. When we get into the autonomic nervous system and the order is created, the autonomic nervous system is doing what it knows what to do. Create order, create health, create allow for healing to take place in the body. And we're not drawing energy. We're becoming less particle and more energy. We have energy to create. Back to my notes and to all the things. I sort of touched on these things as I was just sharing, but so when we the purpose of this meditation is get beyond our body, our environment, and our time. When we get beyond our body and our environment and our time, we forget ourselves, we lose track of time. It's the practice of coming back to the present moment that begins to create the distinction between when we are present and when we're not. Coming back as we catch ourselves will become a skill. So, and where we place our attention is where we place our energy. So if we're placing it in the present moment, we have lots of energy to heal and to create with. So as I was saying, then, we go out into our lives, then it's easier for us to catch ourselves. And it's that practice of catching ourselves and bringing us back into, every time actually that we don't catch ourselves and that we are in stress and we're frustrated, angry, impatient, sad, fearful, we're in fight and flight mode. And just remember that when we are in that mode, we are we're further away from the operating system of the autonomic nervous system and in that high beta brainwave. And so we are moving away from that, and we don't want to move away from being close to the operating, the autonomic nervous system, the operating system of the autonomic nervous system. So every time we stop ourselves, we return back to the present moment, and we settle our body back down to unfold into that infinite field. So this practice is reconditioning the body to a new mind, to another way. We're deprogramming that autopilot. We're breaking that down. Every time we interrupt that automatic program, we stop it with our will, with our, that is the key here. With this practice, we will recognize it when we're in our lives, that we are, anytime we're in fight, flight, freeze, we're in the in that state, we're becoming more dense. We are moving away from this place where we can create from. And so every time we unfold back into possibility, every time we're investing energy out of the known and making room for the unknown. So we become aware of the habits and execute a will that is greater than the program. I love that. It's like executing a will that is greater than the program. That is awareness. That is empowerment. That is us taking our power back from what? From our program. From the program of just that predictable past, the predictable future, the known past, and recreating the same old. The present moment, oh, okay, we have energy to create. So executing that will is greater than the program, and this action is what frees the body from the program, from the chains and emotions of the past. We liberate energy. We become less particle and more wave. and less matter and more energy, and that's available energy to create from a new destiny. So anything that you guys would like to share, add, ask, please feel free. Thank you for you watching live. Betty Chu, I see you in here. Yes, so okay, so feel free to pause this, watch it over again. We are meditating tomorrow morning, actually. This meditation is the generous present moment. We start at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If it's too late for you to watch this in preparation, just know that there's always another meditation. We meditate 4 times a week, a month as of right now. If you're not a member of the Coherence Meditation Gym, if you're watching this live, you are. But if you're watching the recording, please join us. People from all over the world join live. These are not recorded. This is meant to be a practice because, as we know, this work, it takes dedication, takes discipline, and it is extremely powerful when we do it in group. We can do it alone, and I certainly do my meditations alone, but when I do them in group, and this is the feedback that we get when we do them in group, the energy is completely different. It's a lot more, there's a lot more power, there's a lot more, we're focused as well, because when we know we're not doing it by ourselves, there's other people that are in it together. We're synchronized. There's really magic that happens. So I invite you to come join in if you can. We do every other Wednesday and every other Saturday. And Saturdays we've been focusing on blessing of energy centers. So there are other explanations of preparing for those. And it is a beautiful community as well. We're forming this wonderful community where we're all growing together. We're all at different levels, but when we come together in meditation, it doesn't matter if you're experienced or you're new. It really does help, and this is why I started doing these recordings of helping us make the most out of the meditations. And if you're new, maybe have more information, more resources to get you ready to make the most out of the meditations, because it really, like Dr. Joe says, the more we really understand what we're doing, our experience and our it is a lot richer, and we get so much more out of understanding ourselves. That's what we're all doing, right? Understanding. And wow, it is amazing just how deep we can go into this work. So I really would love it if you can join and make more friends. All right, well, I don't see any comments or questions. I hope this is helpful to you. Please, if you're watching the recording, subscribe, and so you get notified when there's a new video up. And just remember that I am a HeartMath certified coach. I'm here for you. I love working one-on-one with clients and teaching them the HeartMath system. It is extremely powerful, and I see it as it's a no-brainer. You installing that, I see it as a software that you install in your system, just enhances life in all aspects, and the results are just it's science. It's based on science. And so if you'd like to upgrade your operating system, and I'm here for you to walk that path with you and see your transformation. All right, everyone, big hugs, and I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Good night for now.